like that. Not yet, not yet. We got to go through this process over again, at least one or two more times. The decision to sell my home out of Miami was not an easy one. It was heavily job related. A working opportunity presented itself, and you're at a crossroad. Do you stay comfortable in the position that you're in, or do you pursue the opportunity that's in front of you? And that meant selling our home, the home that my wife and I have been living in for over 4 years. Imagine, we wanted the quick way out, the cash buy. We were willing to sacrifice the full value of our home just not to deal with the realtor. Like any couple that's pursuing an opportunity and wanting to look for the easy way out, we said, you know what, let's try the cash buyers. Let's reach out to them. Let's give them a try. And we entertained several, and I won't say just one or two, but we entertained several cash offers. And what we definitely noticed was there was a huge disparity, a huge gap between what we were seeing our property was worth versus what they were offering. And the gap sometimes was over $200,000, sometimes $250,000. It was almost insulting, to say the least. Say when we were getting these offers, it was a bit disenchanting, but we said to ourselves, well, let's go the longer route. Let's give that a try. Cross the T's, dot the I's, do our due diligence. It may take longer, but there's nothing to lose. And we gave it a try. We began the process of interviewing realtors. We had a long list of several different realtors. We looked at their qualifications. We examined things like how many homes had they sold, how many high-value properties had they sold, what kind of track records, their reviews, the comments, the ratings that they're getting from people that have sold their houses. What we noticed is the sales game started from day one. The pitch was always, well, your house, we can sell it for this much. Pie in the sky, a lot of glitter, a lot of big numbers that I felt a bit even uneasy, a bit uncomfortable. Granted, keeping in mind, I had an urgency, but still questioned the numbers. And I must say, when you're given those high numbers, you begin to believe that you can get those numbers. But then I had Stratwell, and I sat down with Eddie Blanco from Stratwell, and he gave me news that were a little bit more down to earth, but not exactly what I wanted to hear, but it still gave me the news that I needed to hear, which was, look, this is what your property's worth. This is what we need to do to sell the property. And this is the specified amount of time that we will need to get it done. One of the comfort that we were given was the fact that you always gave us the option to back out. We weren't held to our head by the contract. You can leave at any time. And it was one of those things that we were like, okay, well, that's different. That's new. The topic of trust was an important one for my wife and I. I'm a believer of trust is earned, not given. And my fear was sitting on the property. Week 1, week 2, month 1, month 2, month 3. I did look at realtors, and I looked at how long their properties sit in the market. And I did notice some realtors had properties that they were sitting on for 6 months, for 3 months, active listings. I saw properties that went into contract and were relisted again. I saw a lot of price drops. Those for me were red flags. Red flags because I did not want to experience them. Now, as part of my due diligence, when I reviewed Stratwell, what did I find? I found over 80% of homes, and I'm literally grabbing that number based on how much I saw this, were being sold under 30 days. Based on everything I saw, when I looked at their historical for the last 12 months, that all their homes sold under 60 days, 100% of them. And it was for me a wow moment because I'm like, well, wait a minute, how are they pulling this off? And what I then started becoming even more curious about was, okay, if they're selling that fast, what's the value of the properties that they're selling? And I was seeing the prices varied. They were varying from the low 300s to the over 1 million price point. So they caught my attention. They were giving me what it is that I was looking for based on just my own investigation, not what they were telling me, just my own investigation, that they sell homes fast. When we came on board, within a matter of days, your team mobilized. And that's when we really got to see the full apparatus, not just the members of your organization, but also the different service providers, your suppliers, the entity, the network that you bring on board, which is, I would say, they come under the Stratwell banner. And for me, that was, I think, one of the wow moments, because they're companies that I think you have carefully selected, that know what they're doing, but they hit the mark. And they had some of the shared values that your organization has. Some of the shared values focus on the client, not just looking to maximize the dollar and the revenue, but the essence of trying to meet the needs to make the transaction happen. That was one of the top key selling points. It's a complete story. It's a complete suite, a complete package. And I say this, earning our trust, then it was only right for me to reciprocate that trust, to reciprocate by basically doing what you asked of us to do. And that's what we did to prepare the house. I was aware of all this, but I could have very easily taken a position of saying, no, I'm not spending a single nickel out of this. But I also thought to myself, if I walked into this house, I need to be motivated to buy it. Yes, there was a cost. But when I look at the return, it was exponential. It wasn't 2 times over, it wasn't 3 times over, it was exponential. As for myself, I will be in the market again. Luckily, because of this experience, I will obviously try to pursue first and foremost Stratwell again. I say this to anyone that's considering to selling their home. I advise you, trust your realtor. Listen to the advice from the Stratwell group, because it's no clear put it on the market and it sells itself. Not necessarily. There's a solution to it. There's a process. There is an equation to it. And you have to take all those variables into consideration. What will make your property stand out from the rest of the competition?